first of all, I want to express my sympathies to Mr. Lloyd's family. This is a difficult time for them and for the school community. Mr. Lloyd has been at the high school for at least a year working in this capacity, and his work has been applauded throughout the year because getting students to pass this new science biology MCAS test has actually been something that's been recently talked about in the media, and Mr. Lloyd has taken each one of these cases on personally, and we've had an extremely good success rate. So his work through Gear Up. Gear Up is a program that is a collaboration between the Fitchburg Public Schools and Mount Wachusett, and Mr. Lloyd was working for that program. He has been an integral part of the school in which he actually was not a formal employee, but he has integrated himself not only in the academic success of these students, but clearly into the lives of all of the students and the staff that he's come into contact with.
Will anything be changed for graduation this evening?
Graduation is going forward as expected for 400 students. This is the most important day of their lives, and it's a day that they will only have an opportunity to experience once. So while we are very aware of the impact that this has had on the students and on the staff at the high school, we're also very aware that there's a group of students that we really have an obligation to today and their families to make this the most successful and the most celebratory opportunity that we can, given the circumstances of the day, and there's full intention that we will do that tonight at Crocker Field.
Did this fight happen in between class or before school?
I think it was before school.
Was Mr. Lloyd in the building every day?
I'm not sure what his schedule was because of the nature of him being as part of this additional educational piece. I'm not sure whether his schedule had him in the school every day.
The decision was made to keep school going as normal today. Were you involved in that decision, or was that made at the school level, and when was that decision made?
The decision was made right early on in the day. We have an emergency response protocol in the school district, so people from throughout the district arrived at the school. I also was there from the beginning, and what we did was we sent guidance counselors and additional staff to every section of the school, and in small groups of 5 or 6, we informed each teacher of what had taken place. These teachers then went back into the classroom and informed their particular classrooms of what had taken place. That took about an hour and a half, and just as we finished that process, it was time for the first lunch. So the timing worked out perfectly, because by the time everyone had been informed with exactly the same information, they had an opportunity to go to the cafeteria. We had a few additional people in the cafeteria, mostly looking out for signs of kids who were suffering some sort of trauma or who were having to deal with this in a difficult way. And I've got to tell you, I was there for the rest of the day, and the rest of the day at the high school went on as normal as could be expected given the conditions. And there will also be, we'll have resources available to students, throughout the weekend should they need it, and staff. This has had an impact on the staff with whom he worked.
Did you know Mr. Vaughn Lloyd on a personal and/or professional level, and if so, can you share some of your thoughts about it?
I had only met him a couple of times. Mr. Lloyd worked in both of our high schools. He also worked at the alternative high school, and actually he was one of the participants in the alternative high school graduation last night. What made it more difficult is we all had the opportunity to see him last night, and the pride and the joy on his face as he watched at least 62 members of the graduating class walk across the stage and receive their diplomas solely based on the work that he had done on a one-on-one basis with each of them to pass the science MCAS test. So he was a very proud man last night, and there were lots of students who owe him a great deal, and he will be sorely missed.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.